So I'm doing yet another astronomical clock chiming, which I seem to be collecting versions of. This one's in the middle of the night, by the way, with Tin Church looking fine up there, and my dear aunt and uncle here in Prague visiting. So there's the astronomical clock. There's the gates where these characters come out of. I'm standing a bit nearer this time. There's a general buzz of anticipation in the crowd. Some people with very good equipment are getting ready to photograph this. I'm just doing it on the Creative Vader, so it won't be very brilliant. The good thing about films these days is that you can just add in more time and just talk, and you don't know when it exactly is going to start because you can't see the mechanism clicking into place. Ready? I mean, my watch is always, according to my watch, it's about another minute. According to what it says up there, it's more than that. We'll see. I usually keep my watch about 2.5 minutes fast. Keep your eyes peeled. One of the sides has been bricked up. There's a thing there on the left hand side. I think a character comes out, but here that's been bricked up. I don't think anybody comes out there anymore. I think so, yes. But that one on the right hand side has been bricked up, so right, here we go. Come on, get with the beat, get with the program. The anticipation is killing me. If I just focus on that for a second, it's bound to happen, so I've got to keep it on this. Oh, it's got to happen sometime in the next 30 seconds. The buzz of anticipation is... Boy.
Well,
what happened to that then? They're on strike. They're on strike. That's a very Czech showing of the astronomical clock. Can you imagine that? After all that build-up, they don't come out. It's just a job's worth mentality you find in this country. This gentleman was having a most scintillating conversation with his texting, and he just fell asleep right in the middle of texting. He's got his finger on his send button. This is the metro in Prague, incidentally, with my uncle and auntie and all the other passengers. Okay, well, as you can see from the above, can you say above? I don't know. See from what you can see, I'm in Frankfurt airport, but not the actual airport part. I'm in the airport station, the airport train station. I don't like filming in airports too much because I think it's a bit of a security risk. Less so on the train, because in the end of the day, you know, there's only so much damage you can do with a train. You can't tell it to go and fly into a building. So I'm not so bothered, and nobody else is bothered either so much about stations. And I just thought the architecture was quite impressive here in the Frankfurt station. It's interesting. You can take your luggage from. I mean, it was a long walk from the when I got off the plane at the other end of Frankfurt station. I think I've walked about 2 kilometers to get my bag, which unfortunately I needed to do a lot this week, and so I had to take a bigger bag, and I had to put it on the. I had to check it, as they call it, on the plane, and so I had to go and get it from the Gepäckausgabe, or the luggage reclaim place. This is interesting, the way you can come right down here, even to the lower level, with your luggage thing, and I left mine here. I came with that because I got fed up. Actually, I could pull it. I pulled it for most of the way, then I got fed up, and at the last minute put it on one of those things, because it's not that it was all that much lighter, because you're actually pushing along an extra bit of metal, but it just and I've got wheels on that anyway. It's a different way of pushing, and so it just gave me a bit of relief from just pulling the thing along all the time, especially as the wheels have gone stiff, as they always seem to do on suitcases. Suitcases these days, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, they're made for 1 or 2 uses by the looks of things. I'm going to Mannheim from here. My train is going to go to Mannheim. I was offered, would I like to go first class or second class? And so I said, well, what's the price difference? And first class was 56 plus 4 for the booking, and the first class would have been 91 euros plus 4, presumably for the booking as well. I suppose it's the same booking price whichever one you take. I just thought, well, what's the difference? I asked, what's the difference? And he said, well, it's more comfortable seats in first class. I said, is second class uncomfortable? He said, no, it's perfectly all right. I said, what about Steckdosen, which is ability to use the plug in the train, and take power for working. Well, they've got both. Tables, they're in both. So, it doesn't seem to make a great deal of difference, other than the fact that, it's the snob value of being in first class. So I do travel first class in trains if there's any kind of difference. Sometimes first class is more full than second class, because everybody just takes first class automatically just to show their business. But with a differential in price on first class in a lot of Eastern European countries, it's just like a 10 or 20% difference, because that's the difference in quality. In this country, the difference was really quite sizable, and that's why I often get reminded of the film Terminal when I'm in airports. I don't know why, but with such a big difference, 56 to 91, I just thought to myself, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to go first class. I'm in the second class, so I don't have a reservation for the first bit, which is to Mannheim. The second part is to Stuttgart. I've filmed Stuttgart before, so I probably won't film it again, but I thought this, since I'm in here for the first time, I'm going to take a little bit of a reminder about it and also say the things which are on my head, which I've done. So there we are. Very nice architecture. There's a train that's just come in, which is why there's a lot of background noise right now. The lift's all going up. It's one of the most elegant stations I've ever been in, certainly one of the most spacious ones. Clean as well. You can't smell anything nasty like you could in the old-fashioned stations. So the train that I'm on is actually going to go down to Basel, which is in Switzerland, for those of you that are watching from outside Europe, and this shows which sectors of the platform things are in. So here in D, the second part of D, which is closer to E, which is where I'm going in a second, that's where the restaurant car will be, so I'll probably end up going in there, because I ate just one sandwich on the plane, and that's all they gave. And I'm a little bit hungry because that's really all I've had to eat all day. So I've got 6 bananas with me because I bought them and didn't eat them, but I'm not entirely sure that that's going to be a good idea to eat rather than a proper meal. So I'm probably going to aim at the restaurant car to start off with. People are moving to different sectors. Nice place. So here I am, standing between D and D, at the end of the D sector, the second half of the D sector, the place which, according to the information given, the restaurant car will stop, and according to the information given, the train will arrive in 1 minute. Now the question is, do trains arrive on time in Germany? No, it's half a minute early. I'm shocked. And will the restaurant car stop right in front of me? That's the question. Oh, it's just there. Oh, that wasn't quite right either. And never mind. Not far off. By going through this door I can get almost immediately onto the restaurant. So there we are, I just got back out of the train again. We're in Mannheim now. So I thought I'd just pick a landmark so as to prove we're in Mannheim. But also that says Mannheim over there. But I'm just getting out of that train, just got to go over to this, the Munich platform, and there's the Stuttgart train. I've just got to wait 5 minutes between the two, so that's very good. So to check I've got a reservation for a place on the second one. I actually was in the restaurant car all the time. Had a very pleasant chat with some people there. Gentleman from who'd done his doctorate at the University of Leeds in textile engineering. It's a very interesting conversation, and unfortunately very short, but business life is like that. You meet people and you get a kind of cameo of their life, and then you move on. Sometimes you see them again. I've got this guy's business card, and maybe he'll come to one of the countries I work in and we might have lunch or something, so that might be a pleasant reminder of interesting journey. And here's the train we need to get on now. I haven't checked my place yet.